Example 2 practice. For each function f below, find big F. So that is, we're going to find its antiderivative. And let's check our work for each problem by verifying that the derivative of big F is little f. So let's go ahead and make a guess. I'm going to guess that my antiderivative is going to be sine of 5x. But that's probably not going to be fully correct. So let me write guess here. And why do I say it's not going to be fully correct? Well, I have this 5 here, so what's going to happen when I check? So here I'm going to check my guess. F prime of x equals, and now we're going to have to make sure we take the chain rule into account since we have a function inside of a function. So first let's take the derivative of the outer function, and the derivative of sine is cosine. And then we have 5x, and then we're going to multiply by the derivative with respect to x of 5x. To get 5 cosine of 5x. And this is where we can compare if these two things match. They don't match. This has an extra 5 in it that is not here. So that tells me that my second guess needs to include the reciprocal of 5, which is 1 over 5. So that's big F of x equals 1 over 5 times sine of 5x. And actually, let me write this in a neater manner. Let's write this as sine of 5x divided by 5. So now I can check my work again. The derivative of big F of x is equal to cosine of 5x divided by 5 times the derivative of this inner function, which is just 5. And that gives me cosine of 5x. Since this matches this, we're done. So the antiderivative in this case is sine of 5x divided by 5 plus c. All right, let's continue. So now we have f of x equals x squared times cosine of x cubed. So let's make a guess to what our antiderivative could be. And remember, we have to undo the chain rule since we have a function inside a function. But if you notice, we have almost the entire derivative of this function, x cubed, on the outside. So let's make a guess. And my guess is going to be big F of x equals sine of x cubed divided by 3. And if you're wondering why I put a 3 there, let's take a look at the derivative with respect to x of x cubed. That's going to be 3x squared. I have an x squared out front, but I don't have a 3 out front. And in order to account for that 3, I'm dividing by 3 here. So now let's check. And for check, let's take the derivative. So this becomes cosine of x cubed divided by 3 times the derivative of the outer function, which is 3x squared. So we end up with, x squared times cosine of x cubed. So the most general form of the antiderivative for this function, little f of x, is big F of x equals sine of x cubed, this entire quantity divided by 3 plus a constant c.